Hey everyone, welcome. Lots of new faces I can see already. Let's get into this. Sunday evening should be nice and relaxed, but I've got a lot of work to get done and I've got a lot of machines to fix. Unfortunately, most of them have already been attempted and I haven't succeeded, so I kind of have to go back over, do the second pass on my jobs. And today was a bit of an expensive day because one of our girls, Maple, she has been just been a bit off colour the last few days. And she wasn't doing too bad, but then one of our other cats, in this case Milo, decided to attack her in an inappropriate time, and she couldn't breathe properly after that, and so we had to take her down to the clinic because that's what we do. And she's got fluid on the lungs and might be viral or bacterial pneumonia, or we just don't know. Anyway, so she was at the clinic for a while and she's back tonight. She's on steroids and antibiotics, but man, stuff gets expensive real fast, particularly when it's on the weekend, on a Sunday, double and a half time, all that sort of business. So yeah, definitely going to have to fix some MacBooks now. Alrighty. Hey, RTC, Brad, Samuel, Civil, Jamros, Martin, Draco, Slime, Lutak, how's it going there? Reaper, 199. Why not Reaper 200? Hey, Jimbo, hey. Alrighty. And Cordos, Christian, I'm sure I've missed someone by now. You can all get angry. JFix, Game Droid, you've, I was going to say, I haven't seen you for a long time. So much to the point that I thought you were new for a second then. Yeah, 700 Pora. Alright. Anyway, so we've got a 2337, was working on it. Didn't notice a low battery. It died, charged overnight supposedly, but then didn't come back. Okay. I can live with that. We'll just plug it in, see what it is doing with the charge. Spike. Okay, so we're getting now 20 volts. Ooh, and then it shut down. Oh, we got some spikies. But we're back again and down. What is this, like a dance track? Get on up and down. And yet, oddly enough, it's actually booted. So it's fine. And then it shut down. What are you doing, little MacBook? Fixed. No. Alright, no. Interesting, it actually just shut down completely as soon as I closed up, disconnected it. Alright. There's a couple of reasons these sort of things can happen. This is on backwards too. This should actually be the other way around, like that. With machines that are reported as failed and not coming back, and then they all of a sudden work when they arrive here, most common cause is there's corrosion somewhere, and the shipping shake around kind of breaks that corrosion up and allows things to work again. The other possibility is they got a bad charger, and if that is the case, that's going to be a bit unfortunate for them, having sent it in and all that sort of stuff. The other possibility is bad ports. So yeah, there's a few things that can cause this. Just because it works now doesn't mean I can just throw it back at them and say that'll be $100 please. Or we'll actually take the time to open it up, inspect it, check those ports, and at least try and come up with a probable cause. Hey Rilla. Hey Popescu, Alexandru. Miles is here. Right, channel just went to hell now. Miles is here. A little bit of dust. Battery looks to be in fairly good condition. There are a couple of little dimples, but they're not ruptured, so they're not burst pimples or anything like that yet. Overall, decently clean. We'll take it apart, see what's on the other side of that board. You never know. It only takes one little speck in the wrong place. Conversely, as we know, you can drown these things and they still keep working, so it's you never really can tell. It could also be the audio board. That's another cause of these things. A lot of these machines, the 1932s, the 2179, the 2337s with this separate daughter board, the daughter board actually gets hit quite a bit. I can tell some people out there are already making up a joke in their head. At least these ones are fast to get apart. Hey Tilok, welcome. Jimbo, so help me God, if it is a PCH issue, I will come and I will find you and I will make you pay for that. Spooking out my repair with those predictions. And yeah, we don't need any foreshadowing, we need success here. I need at least 3 of these machines to be repaired tonight so that I can get back to neutral. I think this is ready to come out. Yep. Nothing jumping out at me straight away. Let's have a look at the actual socket, or plug, whatever. It's the trouble with USB-C, it's neither a socket nor a plug, or it's both. There we go. There's our problem. They don't really like it when they're all messed up like that. That is one very messed up port. Okay, good thing I got spares. Let's see. Ooh, we've got one left. A Farid. Of course, the only downside with it being so easily repaired like that is that I am not going to get the usual amount of money for it. Because it is not a board repair, it's just a generic repair, so you can't go and charge people $300 for this. I mean, you can, but I'm fairly sure at some point that's going to blow back on you. And you're going to get called out on that sort of stuff. So yeah, it can be tempting to assume that the customer will have no knowledge or understand any difference in the task that you've performed. Yeah, they sent it in as a board repair, it got repaired, what do they care? Yeah, this sort of thing, I would not be able to sleep if I said to them, yeah, that's $300 for that, please. No, I just can't do that. That sort of thing does come back and bite you in the ass. Yeah, I see Miles coming up with strategies there. Honesty pays off. I mean, I like to hope that it does, though the world doesn't seem to reflect that too much. I mean, I wish it did, but in my experience, for the most part, crime does seem to pay. When I say, yeah, being dishonest seems to pay quite a lot, but with that said, it's not an option I take. At the end of the day, you got to be happy with what you're doing, and I would not be happy if I did that. Hey Teslas, hey Ryan. Oops, I got 2 screws there. I shouldn't. Yeah, Jimbo, that would be about it. Yep, 150. I mean, you can get those flexes fairly cheap, but I still usually mark them down as about $30 for them. 30 Australian, by the way, not 30 US. Because you've also got to pay for shipping and... so yeah, $30 is reasonably fair for them. I mean, you can get them from AliExpress for about $5, I think. Then you have no warranty on them. You don't know how long it's going to take for them to get here. All that sort of stuff. I do buy them domestically so that I can, if there's any problems with them, I can just send them back. Although, admittingly, there's almost no problems with them. I have had a couple from AliExpress when I was initially testing, and you can see that they've just been pulls from other places. Some would have little remnants of corrosion on them that they've washed off because they put it through an ultrasonic cleaner or something like that. Are you thinking of having a members area on your YouTube? I am not at this point. It's more things for me to manage. Currently I'm trying to focus as much as I can on my board view software. The last couple of months I've just been throwing myself into it, just really trying to shift it into a much better place. The trouble is, as you do that, you generally tend to make more bugs, and so you create a new improvement, but then you also create new bugs. So you go back, fix the bugs, and fixing bugs often creates bugs too. So it can be a difficult process to get out of. Once you break the stable seal of a code base, then it does typically take a long time to get back to stable. Okay, it looks like, what's it? Give Paul a yell in chat if you do. Wait, what? Looks like I've missed that. B-Blood, how's it? B-Blood, rather. I missed something there. Hey, Cypher Labs. Sometimes honesty hurts you. Oh yeah. Actually, quite a lot it does. Quite often it does. Miles, I can appreciate that sentiment to you. You're right. What does they say? No good deed goes unpunished. And I find that is frequently the truth. So the balance is to be honest, but don't be too nice. Just keep it straight down the line as much as you can. It's very tempting to do favors for people. I mean, I know I want to do it almost all the time. Like I'll be like, oh, that's fine. We'll just cover that under a standard bench fee. It didn't take me long. But then you'll probably find something else comes up with the machine later, and then they're like, hey, you fixed it. Ever since you touched it, it's been like this. And you're like, oh, great. Here I go. Being punished for having been helpful and nice. There's an ant running around here too. It actually can be a real problem with some people's machines. They get shipped in here and they've got a lot of live critters in them. I had a roach infestation that took me months to get rid of from one person's laptop. That was a pain. Okay. Yeah, Miles, look, I agree. And I'm basically at the same point myself. It's like there's a big part of me that wants to be nice and, you know, give people a hand, help people up. But the cost of when it does go wrong is just way too high. Like, even if it's only 1 in every 10 that goes wrong, it really, it's a sucker punch. Takes you down, makes you feel very angry, and then you become very disenchanted and you become embittered towards other customers. So better to just sort of like hold the line, be neutral, and be happy with that. Okay, so we're going to see if this charges, because remember, the other problem we had was that when I disconnected the power, it immediately shut down. Oh, low battery, your Mac. Okay, this does not. Are you charging? Let's drop the lid. Hey, horse, electro rep. I do not have a video of that. It would have been like somewhere between 4 and 6 years ago. Hey, Maimam Hassan. Good morning to you. Let's see, was this Miles supposed to sell an M314 on Friday? Customer said he was going to pay when he got home. Did the backup for him, transferred all his credit. Okay. And surprise, surprise, still hasn't paid. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Ed. Yeah, customers ghosting you is very annoying, particularly, well, if you've got a small workshop like this, the crap fills up the place real fast. And I've mentioned it before plenty of times, but sorry, one of the problems we have in this particular state is that we cannot dispose of customer items. Even if we put down on a contract that they sign that says, if you don't collect for 6 months, we sell it and tough luck for you. You can't do that. You cannot write laws that take people's fundamental consumer rights away. And one of their fundamental consumer rights is, of course, to get their stuff back. And so subsequently, I have a shed that is full of machines that people have just ghosted me on. And it's like, well, what am I going to do? The best I can hope for is a God event to happen. Now, if a God event happens, then I'm probably going to be scot-free. And by God event, I mean something like a cyclone knocks the shed down, wipes everything out, or it catches on fire, yeah, something like that. Something that I couldn't have foreseen. And you can't even charge them any sort of amount that would make it worth your while. So they do stipulate you can charge reasonable storage fees, and wording like that is kind of pointless, you know, when they say reasonable, because then you just spend all your time at court trying to debate what reasonable is. Is it $1 a day? Is it $10 a day? It's just a big fat waste of time. And so you have to put a lot of effort into trying to get these machines back to the people before they ghost you. So that's the problem, Miles. You can charge them in theory, but it'll get to the point where they're never going to come back anyway. Okay, but 2 amps, 2 amps is kind of running a little bit low if this is an empty battery. And it doesn't seem to be, I guess it's creeping up. Okay, it's creeping up slightly. Let's see if it goes to 202. You're going to hit 2? Come on, 2001, 2002, 2? There we go, 2, 3, okay. Yeah, bloom, 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 bloom. This bottom number here, that's now 203, 204. That is the minimum current that the meter has seen across the span of the window that you can see there. And when it comes to charging batteries, what you like to see is that minimum current just keeps going up. If it doesn't matter if it's slow, if it keeps going up, it means then that the charge controller is likely responding to an increased state of charge of the battery. So now we're up to 6. So it's a good way of finding out what's going on without getting your meter out and probing the battery to see if its voltage is coming up or not. So you just look at this bottom current value and watch it creep up. Unfortunately, bulldozer events and drive-through events are not going to happen with this house. Oh, I was going to say, oh look, it stepped up. Then I realized because I lifted the lid and the screen itself took another 300 milliamps. So probably need to give this about 5 or 6 minutes before I can try pull the battery. So we're now at a situation where, oh dear God. Okay, I have got a 1502 that I need to have a look at. Where are you, 1502? It came in for overall general service and everything was going great, and I got a new battery, and then it decided, no, I'm not going to touch that battery, I'm not going to recognize it or anything. Now I've just got to find the machine. Not you. Where are you, 1502? What's this? Oh God, yeah, I'm not touching that. Sorry, that was a different machine I'm cursing at. Oh, it's fun when I can't even find them. Oh, is that you? That's you. Yep, that's you. Good. Okay, so I've been meaning to get this one back to the person for quite some time, but then there were delays from floods and all that sort of jazz. Okay, 214, we've sort of sunk down a little bit here. Okay, I'm just going to try it. Okay, it's staying on, so that's good. Alright, we're going to put this on charge on the workbench behind me. Let it get itself up to 100%. Okay. Get out a little zip bag. Find my green pen. Wow, someone's disorganized tonight. Oh, there you are. Ryan Labs, it would be very nice if that was the law here. I wouldn't even bother selling it myself. Quite frankly, I'm just happy to send it to the dump. Let the scrap merchants fight over it and do whatever they want to do. I've got no interest in selling the stuff. I just want to get rid of it. So there's easily 50 odd machines out there that just of no value. Okay. So what was this? 2464. Just bringing up my job sheets. Turn into artwork or just burn them. If I want to make money, burn them. Make sure it's on YouTube and create a name similar to Tech Racks. Okay. Okay. We're going to need a different cable for this next job. We need a MagSafe 2. Scan the job in. Thank you. Hey, creamy corn cob. Okay. So we get green. And it looks like it's going to do something. Yeah, it hits this and then it goes to 20 milliamps. And then back to 200. Now I don't know whether I've got a bad battery or whether I've got a bad board. So what I'm going to have to do is find another one of these chassis, and I probably do have one. There's a bunch of machines here. One of them is likely to be so. What is interesting is it does go to the orange, so it's like the SMC wants to charge it, but it's just not getting anywhere. And this is where Harold would normally jump in and say, hey, if you got a battery tester thingy, then you could have done that. And he damn well would be right. Not sure if I've got one wired up for this battery though. Yeah, I don't think I do. Oh well. Chassis swap it will be. Unfortunately, I am a little bit of a disservice for poor old Harold. He does a lot of good work and I just do not promote it appropriately. You know, he sends me stuff and it's good stuff, and I just sort of like, I suck at putting it to use and advertising his work. Can't you ask for back shipping costs in advance? You know, that's a possible idea. I do find it very difficult to get people to cough up money up front. I mean, at the same time, it's also a good filter. Oop, we got a ping pong. What have we got? Massanger. Ah, right, that's someone else. Okay, so we've got a new battery in. I hate when that happens. So what is this? This is a 3476, I think. Okay, schematics. So what are we after? G3 Hotcon. Alright, there's a little... Okay, I can see where I can tap in and see what it's doing. Do you include the cost of your electricity in this sort of thing? No, I don't. No. It's sort of one of those things where the trying to actually track it probably is more trouble than not. Okay, a couple of things I just quickly notice here is we've got a little bit of gunk there on the pins. So I don't know if that's going to play into it. Oh, there goes a bunch of idiots. Okay, plug that in. That's what we're looking at. I would almost think, honestly, at this point, I've got a bad battery. Because it looks like, you can see how the voltage jumps up with the current and then drops off. So the charge circuitry is trying to push power into that battery. The battery just doesn't seem to be wanting to deal with it. Hey, Paul, how? Okay, so let's have a look at that connector. Like I said, it's got a little bit of plastic there. Maybe one of the pins are obstructed, although it's, yeah, they look pretty damn good to me. Okay, next thing we'll check are the I2C lines, clock and data that handle this sort of thing. Okay, just need to double check where they were. We're going to check the diode mode on them. It could be like a blown protection diode on there. This here, these are the two lines. So what do we got? 0.519, so we'll call it 0.52. 0.156, that's well and truly close enough. I can't be faulting that, to be honest. Hey, sympathy. Alright, so at this point, take the board out, find another chassis, use the differential diagnosis to ascertain whether we've got a bad battery, a new battery at that too, or whether we have a logic board charge issue. So at least we know which way we're going to go. Now, I'm a little bit annoyed myself because that is the sort of thing that I should have done right at the start before I locked the battery in. Because they usually have a plastic cover on these and it says, please test the battery before removing the plastic cover. Now, the problem with that is that many a time that plastic slip that they have over there holds the cells in such a way that you can't get the cells into the frame. Yeah, they'll either jam up against something where you can't get these front end pieces in. So it's kind of like you're screwed either way. You've got to take the plastic off in order to get to fit into your chassis. I suppose you could test it just by hovering it over it, but yeah, feel like I'm not going to win no matter what I do there. Hey Cam, yes, it certainly has been a long time. Thank you for dropping back in. Where have you been? I suppose you've been out having a proper life. Not hanging around with failure, channels of failure like this one, eh? Hey Harold, just talking about you, Harold. Just talking about you, saying how I'm doing you a disservice here because I haven't set up the battery tester for that you've sent me. At least not for this model. And so you send me the tools to make my life easier, and I still continue to not be a good person on that. Oh, you saw the Northridge fix video, yes. Yeah, it was a bit of a weird event. Still, on the upside, it's been advantageous for me. Hey David. Hey Pico. I think we all can agree, or most of us can agree, that if you just simply left out the using other YouTube channels as an example, and just went about his business with his own sphere of audience, then everything would have been fine. No one would have given two hoots. Would have been like, yeah, whatever, that's his choice to say what he wants to say about his success and all that sort of stuff. No one cares. But yeah, when he stepped out, well, yeah, that's what happens. Actually, give me back that. There is a burnt pin on the MagSafe, though. I don't imagine that's causing the issue. Okay, so I don't know what year this one is. 3476 anyway, yeah, we are correct on that. Okay, 3476. Not you. I've got a solid number of these machines. Not you, you're 2015. Okay, no. What about you guys? No, another 2015. Jeez. For years I sought after 2015s and never had them. Oh wow. This original. Cool. Okay. Anyway. I think this is going to be a match. Creamy Cord Club, yes, you are quite right. It is very hard to shake familiar patterns, which is why I actually have a difficult time getting people to transition away from Board Viewer program to Flex Board View Free, because a lot of people are intimately familiar with the operation of that software to the point where, you know, trying to change is too much of an impediment. But I'm working on it. Okay, let's see how we go. I don't even need to plug the screen in, I just need the MagSafe. And see what happens to the car. Oh, look at that, straight away, 700. A900. So I think it's fair to say we've got a battery issue. Although it is powering up. Whoops. I wouldn't send me one, Howard. You need to find someone who's actually famous. Have you... What about people like, I know one name I'm not going to mention. I mean, I dare say you've been in touch with, what is it, Graham of Adam and IT? Oh, interesting. This is down to 300 now. Alright, let's see if that bottom number changes. Maybe I prematurely assumed something here. 310. So let's give it some time, because this battery probably has not seen power for a year or two. Okay, we're at 311. That's right, Arilla. People hate change. And I get that. And I know it's a challenge I have to work with. So much so that I'm actually going to probably... that's a little ambiguous, isn't it? Most likely I am going to add the color theme that they've created. As much as I think, it's a huge waste of my original work, but if it helps people jump across, then who am I to debate? Yeah, who am I to argue? Okay, so our number is slightly coming up, I think. 315 now. So it could take about 5 or 6 minutes before it does a proper jump. Nikitas, which MacBook Pro model would you suggest with less problems? You after the Pro models? I really don't know, to be honest, when it comes to the Pro models. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of stuck still with suggesting the 2337s, which is obviously not a Pro model, as being kind of like one of the last ones that I could put any kind of faith into. Certainly not the latest Air models. They're terrible. Just terrible. I could almost suggest a 2442, but again, these are old models now, they're the M1. So I'm afraid to say I'm a little bit of a loss for it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, so we have a battery problem in the other machine. The amp meters, I'm not making them anymore, but Harold will soon be making them once I get my backside into gear and send him all the specification files and design files. I'm just going to try something here. M3 Airs, yeah, see, those, if something goes wrong with those M3 Airs, then it's really difficult to do anything with them. And they're failing in ways that are difficult to fix. Some of them get shorts on the board, and the PMIC does such a good job of shutting down things that you can't even find out where that short is. And a lot of the time the short is not really a hard short, it's more of like a 5 ohm or a 10 ohm short on one of the ceramic capacitors. And so even if you go injecting, it's not going to show up. You basically have to go through all the rails, look for something that's wildly, or not wildly, but significantly off the standard value, and then you have to try and look for a capacitor that maybe has a crack in it if you're lucky. A lot of the time they're not even failing with cracks in a visible way, they're just sneaking one on the underside of the board or something like that. It's getting difficult. 300 ohm capture, it's stuff like that. It makes it very tricky to find now. Hey Toby, any updates on the PL880? Oh, yeah, that won't be going into production, I'm sorry. The big problem with that unit was that the bill of materials for it was just way too high. I couldn't find a practical way to get the costs down and still make it feasible, so yeah, I'm sorry, it's a non-happening thing. Oh yeah, and yeah, the MacBook Air batteries connectors, they're terrible. They're basically they're iPhone battery connectors or iPad. I don't know if they're going to revert to more sane, robust designs or not, but it's not looking good. Alright, so yeah, we've got a battery issue, which is a major pain in my ass because now I've got to send that battery back. This is the problem when you start repairing or servicing these older machines, is that a lot of the stock that they have on hand for things like batteries is actually very old stock. So it's entirely possible that that battery has already locked itself out with the BMS. I'll see if I can measure the cell voltages and get an idea of what's happened to it. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I don't really... If I want to be able to send this back, then I need to not damage it as much as possible. Let's see if I can find anything on the other side. I had a feeling when I put this battery in that it was going to do this to me. I should have listened to my instincts. Yeah, I should have taken the logic board out, rigged it up with a MagSafe like that, and tested it before I stuck it in. But sometimes you just get a little bit stupid and you don't do this. Okay, at least fortunately the adhesive hasn't set in properly because I haven't pushed it down enough. So we might get away with this a little bit. Yeah, we will. Wunderbar. There was a lot of things about this battery that kind of triggered me off. See if we can measure and see what's going on with those cells. Oh look, hot glue. That said, Harold, if it has got weak cells in it and stuff like that, then I basically don't want it anyway. Because all that's going to have, even if I bring it back, at some point it's going to have a shorter lifespan. But I am going to at least just check to see what they are reading at the moment. Jim, no drama, no drama. Goodness, I have a bad habit of hijacking everybody else's streams. Do not diode mode it, you nitwit. $11.2. It's actually 11.2. Is this thing already charged? Fully charged. Doesn't make... No, that's not fully charged. Should be 12 points. We've got a 3S pack. 11.1 is actually minimum. So 1134 is nominal. So the cells are fine. Yeah, even if it's a smidge low, they're still fine. It's a 3S pack, so if it got to say 10 volts, then you're hitting the borderline. 9 volts, definitely. 8.5 volts, then throw it away. But 11 volts, it should be good. So what the hell's wrong with this? Yeah, Oscar. Don't think we're doing any blow up batteries today. So this is a BQ20Z451, I think. Is there a fuse? You got your poly fuses here. Oh wait, no, they're just links. Let's see, we've got our 10 milliamp, they're in parallel, so 5 milliamp shunt. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to think about this one. These here are probably the comms lines. Solder blob on the right. There's a few. Nothing really catching my eye there. Soldering connections seem fine enough. I mean, it's not great. They're not, wicked through properly. But for the most part, because these boards are stationary, them should be okay. See if anything's coming out between P minus and P plus. Alright, so we've got nothing there. Crikey. Which line is sys request? It says VM near the black wire. I don't see any short blobs or anything other than the VM wire itself. And then there's the VL. Wow, it just crashed something. Ah. See if I can repeat that. Oh wow, I've got a repeatable crash here. That's fantastic. Just what I don't want. I wonder if I fixed it. 361. No, I don't have a battery analyzer. I don't really encounter enough situations to justify it. No. In terms of battery replacements, I maybe do 5 or 6 a year. And most of the time, it's just easier for me to grab another battery as opposed to anything further. It takes you have to do a lot of batteries to justify that battery analyzer. See if any voltage comes. Well, we did see voltage, didn't we? I mean, there's a number of possibilities that it could be. I do still have the original controller, but of course I don't imagine I can use the original controller. Like, I can't supplant this with the original one. See, there you go. Yep, that Harold has the cheaper tool anyway. I need to find the plastic barrier for this. Like, if I do have to end up sending it back, I want to make sure that it's reasonably pretty. Not you. Seriously? I already packed it up in the rubbish? Wow. Yeah, 90% of the time I do not throw out these plastic back stiffeners because it's a nice plastic to have, these things. And that time I did put it in the rubbish. And I've got the wrong one. That's a 244. No, wait. That's a 2141. Seriously, where's my battery stiffener? How about you? No. Oh. Great. Going back to my childhood days. Rifling through trash. There we go. Nipple fell out. Let's see if we've got any voltage now. The sys request line connected to the board. What? How am I going to get demonetized? What did I say? Oh, right, yeah, I just realized now what I said. Okay, schematics. Let's see if this crashes. So, sys detect. Holy damn, that really does crash it. Why does that crash that? It's so exciting. It's always nice to get a legitimate crash going on. And the nice thing is I can repeat that. So when I'm finished here, I'll go elsewhere. So pin 6. So that's interesting. It doesn't crash when I select it there, but for some reason when I do it here, it has a wobbly. Alright. What is hidden under the red plastic? I think it's probably just the underside of the board, but I didn't want to peel it off because of the fact that if I do need to send this back, if we don't find a repairable cause, then I would rather it still be there. Well, we've got voltage, and this one. We'll use that test pad. That's interesting. Sys detect is actually oscillating. See, it's jumping around. It's like it's trying to come up, then shuts down. Trying to come up, shuts down. Trying to come up, shuts down. Yeah, it's resetting. Because they're the data lines, they're clock and data lines. So yeah, the battery management board is resetting itself. Oh, okay, it's the pulse, right. But it's interesting that the clock and data lines are cycling like that. Okay, it's MagSafe in. Ha! Even weird, I just saw your comment. Yeah. At least I can actually repeat the fault, so that's the most important thing. More than anything else, repeating the fault when it comes to software is such a vital thing. Yeah, the clock and data have the pull-ups. Yeah, on the MacBook. So that's on these lines here. And they will be going to the SMC. Oops. Too big. So you can see there they've got, once we've got something 3D42, then yeah, they talk to the SMC. Hey Eric. Yeah. Yeah, I thought the Lesai was appropriate. Hey Shane, stuff from Brizzy. How you guys going down there? Surviving? I don't know what to think about this one. Like I said, its cells are fine enough, but it just doesn't want to. It just doesn't want to charge. The T7. Well, if it is the MOSFETs on the B7, then I'm sending it back. Oh, what am I talking about? On the battery, I mean B7. Why am I saying B7 for? Same behavior. Oh, I know you. Yes, on that place on Flinders Street, which was a real like no one would ever break into that place. You told me because of the fact that it looked like complete shite. Yeah, yeah. And then that server of mine, that was for back from the day when I was selling Examine email filtering software. Yep, I remember you. And in the end, that server went up to Cairns, whoever it was that acquired all that business, and I never got that server back. So, fortunately, it wasn't a big issue, but it was just more like, wow, okay. I even offered to go up to Cairns and get it, and I said, no, we don't know where it is. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, I tried to keep it sort of short and sweet, but also assert, you know, just like, what are you doing wasting people's time? Yeah. Hey, Sutterbridge. Yeah, it was a long time ago, even weird. That was, geez, that's pushing 20 years ago now. But, you know, these things happen. So what are you doing with yourself these days? I presume you're not in Townsville anymore. Hey, Costas? Yeah, I really don't know what to think about this battery, but... But all I know is that, I mean, yeah, we could try and diagnose what specifically is wrong with this BMS controller board, all that sort of stuff. But you see, the trouble is, I do that. It's a $100 battery. I don't want to void my opportunity to just get it replaced. Now, fortunately, the customer is quite patient. I mean, they already have been for so long. So sending this back shouldn't be a major problem, although I may have to, for the sake of minimizing trauma, I may have to buy one in advance. But the problem is, what I'm worried about is the one I get is going to have the same issue. It was fun with those days in that server, especially trying to manage all the spams. Well, I'll have to do. You got to remember there was also a follow-up ramble that he had. Oops. And at least I did manage to get a very popular post in his original video, where I basically just sort of said, you know, don't be a dick, in a more polite kind of way, of course. But yeah, so I managed to get that onto his setup, his video, to which I think he probably was a bit annoyed. Anyway, it is what it is. I personally found it useful. I got a lot of subscribers out of it. Quite a few hundred, actually. 2380. Let's see. No charge. Yeah, he didn't understand, but that's okay. Other people did. Flipper flow. What now? Let's see, what you... 2380? Yep. So this is where it gets into the dangerous phase with the repairs, as you start ending up a lot of these machines where they're kind of like, yeah, split open, you're waiting on something, or you're trying to come up with a miracle to repair it, and you don't in the end. But all that happens is it just starts piling up. You run out of your normal slots on your inbound, and you've just got crap piling up everywhere else. And it's a dangerous state to be in, so you really need to shut things down. Let's see. Battery required. Logic board might be okay. Which one's this? 2470. Okay, that one's fine. We do have that one that we're trying to find out. I've got a missing NAND on this one. Or when I mean missing NAND is like, it's another one. It's different to the 1990 that we had the other night. But again, we're just not getting any sort of activity out of this one either. And this is where you have to get a lot stricter with yourself and say, look, you know, fine, I can't fix it, maybe someone else can, send it out. collect your $50 bench fee. You did try. Let someone else try and fix it and make the person happy. Oh god, 1534 miles? You're a horrible man. Oh right, yes, you did say so, evil word, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to have a quick look over this, see if I can see anything that's a hair, not a crack. Because like I said, we did have that other one where that little resistor there, or I think it was, or... oh wait, no, it was that filter down there had got knocked off. It was the only defect on the board, and that was what stopped it. But we're not so lucky on this one, it seems. I think we're chasing something. Man. I'm just feeling a little bit beaten up over these because this is... I've got 3 machines from the same place and all 3 of them I haven't been able to fix. Normally I'm usually getting about 80% success rate with their jobs, but the last batch that they sent me, it's just 0. Miles, you make a fair point there about just opening it up, shutting it and saying, buy yourself something new. Yeah, those 1534s, I think it was one of the few times that Apple kind of went, yeah, okay, we did bad there. We're going to just, oh, corrosion, shit, yay, there, right there. There'll be a TVS, but it might be pulling the line down. Still doesn't make sense, I don't think, for what we're looking for, but it's a possible, and I'm willing to take it. So, pink dot, because it's damn sight easier to find that pink dot than it is to find other things. Other colours, rather. And this is a 2098, I think. 2098? Indeed you are. Okay. $398. Schematics. Are you still in the IT industry, Evilmoid? Let's see, that's this one up here. What are we after? Bottom one of the inner cluster of 2. Okay, that there. Yeah, so that's what I was worried about. Okay, fine, we've got a little bit of corrosion there, but that is not that critical, unless it is shorting the line, but I have my doubts. Let's see. Schematic. And as you can see, it's just a bidirectional TVS. Hey, Peter Henderson. Alright, so I guess we'll just take that sucker off. Let's see if there's anything on the other side. There's probably Thunderbolt stuff under there, I think. Yeah, it's just Thunderbolt and the connectors, so it's no biggie. Don't have to worry about that one too much. Obviously you can't just rip those ones off. They're delicate at the best of times. You went into networking. I thought you already were in networking. Or do you mean marketing networking? But I mean, you're doing all the stuff with the hosting and ISPs. Speaking of which, yeah, I need to find a way of hosting it around about 300 gigabytes of files without it being directly attributable to me. So, yeah, that's the latest fun game for me. Hey, Mr. Jan Zimmy and Kiwi Chess. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. The reason why I used flux on that one, because normally I'll pull them dry, but I wanted to use flux on that to see if it can try and clean up whatever damage is under there. There's a little bit too much flux. Let's see if we can get away with it. At least we have the Joey rub method to clean this stuff up. Okay, there we go. And yeah, that fizzing flux is nice, helps clean up stuff. It's more of a Pico Rossmann. Maybe a Fermento Rossmann. That's actually... that corrosion has gone in moderately deep, to be honest. And funnily enough, it did leave behind its pad. That side there, I could be wrong, maybe it is actually just a solder. I'll leave that be. I'll laugh if this comes up, it'd be very unusual. Because I was almost certain that this already did charge and everything like that. Anyway, we'll give it a shot. I don't mind these 2442s, they are a little bit annoying, but they're not the worst. Hella dusty though, this one. Maybe I should just try and plug in the MagSafe and see what happens, or try to think. Try USB 3. MagSafe 3 rather. Wow. Better get the MagSafe 3 cable. The nice thing with these boards is that if you do have MagSafe 3, you can run them without the battery. Cycling. Something's definitely not happy there. So we're hitting about 1 amp when it hits 20. So it's not happy. It's still not coming up. Now I think the problem that we had was that it was showing the CPU was warming up. The double cycle was a little bit quirky, I agree. And what's... lost it all because of the stupid... Damn it. Yeah, so it would have like a 20 watt peak momentarily, shut down 5 volts, and then it would have around about, it looked like about a 5 watt peak jump up. I might bring out the thermal camera. Although foolishly, the... Actually, let me just check something. I'm just going to check the speaker areas. This could be a case of a high resistance capacitor failure. So PV bus is fine. Okay. The reason for the bamboo board is that we've done hot air rework on here, which means therefore the bench itself is going to have a heat signature, and typically the heat signature from the bench, from the hot air, will swamp whatever is coming out of the board. So subsequently we put it on thick bamboo board and it holds back that signature for a while. It will get through it eventually. Hey Dipum. Alright, so here we go. No, that's not matching up. There we go. I can already see the CPU is getting warm. I'm pretty sure we went through this before, and the CPU is the one that was taking the bulk of the power. Because nothing's jumping out. Minimum, this is a FLIR 1 Pro. It's been modified with different software. So we're basically at such a low temperature sensing at the moment that it picks up its own reflections from the camera. Like you would expect when it hits that 20 volts, you'd see something jump out. Like, I mean, I know it's showing up stuff around here, but I'm pretty sure that's just a reflection off the board itself. I'll go grab a blanket and block out the rest of the light, but I don't think we're going to find anything. Pretty sure we went through this path before. Modifying or manufacturing tends to be my thing, doesn't it? Oops. I mean, there's a bit of warmth up near the MagSafe 3 connector, but yeah, that's the sort of stuff you expect. And that whole area seems to be warming up like it's the CPU. And normally you can pick out if there is a spot that is periodically punching a little higher than it should, even in these scenarios, because you do tend to get a little bit of latent heat build up. And if there is a spike, then those crosshairs should jump to it and everything else should blank out. And we're not seeing that either. And you can see there's heat starting to develop in the heatsink. So yeah, the bulk of the power seems to be the CPU coming up, and then it very quickly shuts down. So whatever this issue is, it's happening after the CPU has decided, yeah, all is good, I'm going to come to life, and then all hell breaks loose. And it says, actually, I changed my mind. Shut it down. On a steady situation, you should be able to pick out anything. I mean, you can see that one coil there firing off. There's this coil here, you can see it firing off. But that is more a case of, it's just simply, any chance you can get 10 minutes after the stream? Yeah, sure thing. Just send me a message now, and then I will try and remember then. What is the time anyway? 21:44. We're about to finish up anyway. Yeah, there you are. This is what I mean. You can see the CPU's getting warm. Okay, I think I just saw something. Did anyone else notice? Just check this area down here. Look at that. There's that spike that comes up. Bam. Like, quite an intense one, actually. Is that in the 20 or is it the 5 section? Keep thinking I'm missing it. And that looks like where it falls out on the 20 volts. So it seems like it gets started in 20 volts. As soon as that hits, it drops. So I think whatever that point is down there is the rail that it's choking on. All right, we've got a fighting chance now. Turn all my lights back on. It's funny, you don't really notice it on your side when it's the difference between the lights on versus the lights off, because the camera's automatically aperture down or push up their ISO. There's a big difference in the light. Okay, it's down here somewhere. So I guess what we'll do is we'll give it a little dollop of IPA and see if anything jumps. See if I can get any visuals on that from an angle. It looked a little bit too quick in response for it to be anything on this side. I mean, I could be wrong. But usually if it's on the other side of the board, it does tend to take a lot longer to come through. Certainly not as focused as that one was. Alright. If I had to take a guess on something, I might consider this one here. Anyway, let us see what happens. So we'll just drop in some IPA. Wait, there, I think I just saw it. It's one of the little ones. I'm almost certain it was one of the little ones. I could have been wrong. It could have just been bobbling on its own. Unfortunately, freeze spray doesn't work so well up here. I'm not being funny. It really just... It's very difficult to get freeze spray to kick in. Well, this one does seem to dry out faster than the rest. It's 1V8S2. And alright, 0.258. All of this is 1V8S2. So 0.258 on diode mode. Let's see. Let's go back to microscope. Fortunately, like I said, it's all the same rail. 0.238. That's well within acceptable margins. So the next step we'll do is we'll see what the voltage is like and see if it sort of holds that 1.8 volts. It's S2 rail, so it's a chance it might be it. Now, don't fuck it up, Paul. Oh, what are you doing, MagSafe? Right, I finally get it all delicately balanced and it doesn't fire up. How's that? That's better. Reason why I'm a little bit paranoid is you've got a fat shield there which I can easily... Well, it's holding 1.8 just fine. I might actually have to try the freeze spray. To give you an idea how... Look, you're going to see how difficult it is to do freeze spray in this climate. So first thing I'm going to do is actually connect the MagSafe up here. Freeze spray. Okay. And you basically have to pre-chill it quite a lot. Okay, let's go. Come on, plug. I didn't even get a chance. Plug. Come on. Nope. And there you go. That is why it is near impossible to do freeze spray testing in this environment. It's probably about 27 Celsius here. And this is tricky because the diode mode of that rail is fine. I'll check some of the ones around it. There was a spike there? Yeah, and nothing showed up. So like I said, the infrared camera is probably picking up extremely low amounts of power. Okay, 2.3, that's pretty much good for that. 2.023. There's no, that's meant to be missing, that's what we call a no stuff. Hey babe.
Tiger's ready to come down.
Tiger's ready to come down? I'll be right back, I've just got to go get a cat off the roof. It's almost 10 o'clock, so it's actually been pretty good.
Yep. There's a frog jumping around, a big green frog. So
Oh.
don't step on it. Oh, there it is.
Where?
Right. Be chasing it.
No, I'll get it out. Give me it. And then I'll go deal with Tiger. Hello. Yeah, don't you pee on me? Ah, you did, you little bastard. Ugh. Can you open up the front door for me? Sorry. Thank you. A tiger. Okay. Like he doesn't just do the jump.
I think he knows that
Get the.
eventually
Yeah. How's Maple?
she's comfortable.
Normal. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. You know, I really should just. I shouldn't put my gloves back on. Micro needs his insulin shot, so I'll go do the insulin shot and come back. Let's see, you guys. Yeah, frog pea. Big green frogs. All right, I'll go deal with micro, and then I'll come back, and then at least we can focus on this. So, feel free to try and come up with some theories as to what's going on there. Torch. Do you know where micro is? That's okay. I'll check out the carport. Hey micro. Time for your shot, buddy. Yeah, it's time for your shot. Yeah, you stay there. Don't run away. Come here. That's a good boy. Come on. 3 seconds. That's all it's going to take. You know it. There. All done. Yeah, like a Formula 1 pit stop. Micro. Hey Mo. Let's see, L7900. What? Okay, just looking at what dreams are sending me. Stop. I'm reading your stuff, dreams. 1708, 840, found a few shorts. Is there a common failure? Dreams with the 1708 boards. The big problem is the CPUs are all dying. Hey Joey. I hate it some nights when you just can't seem to get your voice out. It's like you're choked. tonight's one of those nights. Alright, so this could be a case of we've got a cap that's some high resistance, but it's enough that the PMIC notices that things are wrong. Injector 0.92 amps, no heat anywhere. Yeah, like so, I just have given up on the 1708s for a while. I was trying to fix them. Do you know what the symptoms were prior? I mean, okay, you had the shorted caps. That's the other thing. Is we'll have a chit chat over it though. And now I've made this area look a tad ugly. So one of the things, the strategies we could try, since we can't seem to identify it directly, is we can look at simply pulling out the parts. But the risk there is, and unfortunately my infrared camera doesn't quite have the resolution I require, is that we don't know if it was maybe the inductor getting hot, or was it one of these getting hot. You know, we don't know exactly where it is. We just knew the region it was in, that bottom corner. Yeah, David E3008, yeah. That's what I'm finding. They're all basically just dying left, right and center. Which is a shame, they're a good model. Okay, 358. Man, it's awkward trying to do this. 300. Okay, 50. There, there's something different. 50 ohms on that tiny little puffer cap. But of course it could actually be... Yeah. Let's see, schematics. Oh, we might have it. Okay, if we look at... I don't know why the resistance at 1 ohm. Who the frick's been pumping bad data into OB data? According to open board data, that should be a 0.335. So we'll switch into diode mode and have a look. Solder Bridge, I'm personally just going to get a whole new system. The gym cam is really good, but I'll probably get an entire new system rather than trying to mod. Okay, 0.355. Let's see. So that looks like it's all this rail here. 0.3. How am I getting 50 ohms then? That doesn't make sense. That 0.3 is actually still low enough that I would be pondering on it. That's about 18.25% down. Yeah. It could be a cracked inductor. Yes, it's quite possible. Alright, that's weird. We're now measuring 356. How did I get 50 ohms before then? That is weird. I'm clearly measuring something wrong here. 350 there to there. But whatever this is, it's definitely 50 ohms there. And that's to ground. So if we look at the schematics, somehow or another we are getting 50 ohms across this particular capacitor. But if we go to this capacitor, we've got 300, which is more in line with what we expect. It's got nothing to do with these rails. So why am I getting 50 ohms there? I mean, yeah, there's a little piece of junk on it, but let's just get rid of that junk. Yeah, am I touching something? But you can understand what I mean by the fact that it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. Okay, that looks like a lifted... No, it's probably not. No, it's not moving anywhere. But yeah, 50 ohms across there, that is weird. Pressure on cap, that is possible, yep. So yeah, basically if I'm getting 50 ohms across here, I should get 50 ohms there, 50 ohms there, 50, 50 everywhere else. So you can appreciate my WTFing, as it were. So why am I not... Okay, so again, 350 across the big one. I mean, yeah, it could be the pressure on the cap. I'm trying really hard not to touch anything. And wow, 48, definitely there. Let's swap the probes and see if that makes a difference. Because it could be that with the probes in that orientation, it's causing conduction through another device, which is subsequently... Yeah, there we go. So if we actually go here now, yeah, 50. Interesting. So it's... We've got conduction due to something there. I mean, yeah, so basically something is activating when that tiny amount of power is being applied. Yeah, false alarm. I'm just going to have a look at this schematic. It's a 0.95 rail, so at the very least we'll plug some power in and see if we get 0.95 volts. Hey, Peter Crystal. Because the 1V8 really was not at all suffering it. It looked like it was holding robust on 1V8, no problem at all. What the hell's going on? Oh, it's not plugged in. Most common cause of issues. .92 holding. That's interesting. That actually staged up twice. See, 0.92 and then 1. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, bizarre. It does seem like it's some sort of S2 device not coming up. But it is strange that... Hey there, Dr. Teddy. It is strange that we did get 0.95, which it was supposed to be, and then it pushed up to 1.02. Now that could simply be a case of whatever it was that shut down faster than the PMIC was reacting, and so subsequently you end up with this kind of overshoot. Well, I shouldn't even say kind of, it definitely is an overshoot. Let me see here. Is the visible no stuff actually no stuff? Probably is. I have no reason to think otherwise. Yeah, no stuff. There we go. No stuff. Alright, that fixes that up for everybody in the future. Yeah, Gecko's making noises. The other thing is, yeah, this is really annoying, to say the very least. Maybe I should put the board into the freezer for a little bit, and then we might have half a chance of seeing if anything warms up. No stuff's more to the left, is it? I don't know. No, it was the middle one. Yeah, flip. Good on you, mate. Unfortunately, the IPA test isn't working. The trouble I have with the rosin technique is that it leaves your board rather sticky and unpleasant. Alright, what we're going to do, since we don't have a macro lens, that's not a huge problem. What we're going to do is we're going to lift the board up closer to the camera assembly, and we can offset for the parallax error, and then we might get a bit more of an idea of where on the corner that glitch is. So we're just going to find a suitable block to lift this up on and go from there. Block or blocks? Time to improv. So, I mean, I could get a different stand for this that has like a... Oh, flipping magnets. Cursed magnets. I think we can come up a bit higher than that. Oh, God, I'm an idiot. I've got exactly the tool for this. Well, we'll put a piece of non-conductive board over that. There we go. Okay. As you can well imagine, I am trying to avoid injection if I can help it. Okay, we've got a major offset here. Did you just shut down on me? No, you're alive. Alright, so that at least gives us about what we're after. Lights out. Nothing showing up yet. Time to blanket it. Hey, Spencer. How's it going, Foxo? Just folding up the blanket in a more appropriate way. Oh, that's no fun. That's actually the PMIC itself. It's a big hit. No, you ran out. Stupid battery. I think it is the battery. No, no, it might come back, might come back. Give us a second. Yeah, right there. That's within the PMIC itself. There. Okay. And naturally I moved it. Idiot. Let's try that again. There. Really? Oh, I know what's going on. The visual versus the sorry. Right. Now hopefully this time it doesn't reset on me. Was that a second one I just saw up there? No, it's just that one there. Maybe it is the second one. Okay. Alright, that's good enough. We can now remove the board. Okay, it's definitely like on the lower side of that bottom edge. It's just like this area here. You're talking about, yeah, there was another machine that had a PMIC failure, like integrated PMIC. That was saying there was a cap in there. But in the end, the person decided not to pursue the task any further. So yeah, definitely somewhere around here. And then yeah, it sort of felt like it was blasting from up here as well. But somewhere around here. I'll check that cap. $230. I'm pretty sure that's well within spec. Is there a solder ball somewhere, you're saying? I can't see any. Okay, 0.36 is the diode mode for that. Oh, that's 3V8. Holy how did I miss 3V8 after all this? Yeah, 3V8's a lot. But then that could actually be normal for... Alright, yeah. Okay, so see our diode mode, 0.141. We should be 0.36. Oh, it's not a solder ball. It's a flux bubble. They look very similar under the camera, unfortunately, but yeah, it is a flux bobble. Yeah, see? Flux bobble. Okay, 3V8 is our apparent issue, it seems. Which makes me wonder if the Wi-Fi's up the crapper. Have I got even the right frickin' board? Wait, what? Oh yeah, I have, yep. I mean, I could be wrong, but Wi-Fi is such a common freaking culprit for this. Yeah, let's double check 3V8. Yeah, 3V8, 0.36 is what we should be seeing on that. Let's see, got this diode up. Definitely way low, 0.13. Okay. Alright, so yeah, audio amps are another, although usually they are on PP bus. So 3V8 is our problem. So fortunately, because of that, we can pretty much get away with injecting a little bit of voltage into 3V8. And hopefully we can find this bastard. It's a hell of a process to find this damn thing. Well, these look like good candidates to put 3V8 in. There, you see, you got your speaker amps there. I would not be surprised, yes, if it was a speaker amp playing up. Although, like I said, normally I'm used to them running afoul of PP bus. I don't know if we're going to be able to isolate it, so we're just going to drop it in here. We'll give it 1 volt and 1 volt, 1 amp. As you have already seen with the infrared camera, you really do not need a lot of power. Like, if you can mask out all your unwanted light, then you can pick up quite small heat signatures. Hey Larry, the retired flying cable guy. Just starting computer repair business. Retired last year after 46 years in telecoms. That's some wizardry stuff, that is, telecoms. Alright, now these caps don't really appreciate a lot of heat, so we're gonna try our best not to upset it too much. And yep, that's a pretty shonky solder job, but again, I'm not worried. These are just simply to slap it on. They're not long-term connections. They're robust enough for the task. Here's hoping we actually do see. Well, what is curious though is that I'm surprised that we had any CPU heating. I'm gonna have to look up my startup sequences again for this sort of board, because I thought without 3V8 there's no way the CPU is coming up. Clearly I'm mistaken somewhere in my concept. Hey Jason, what language did I do Flexboard View in? Honorius, it's in bastardized C++. It's a combination of C and C++, which makes true programmers vomit and throw up. Yeah. Okay, so 1 volt, 1 amp. Let's see what we get. Shit, it's one of those faults. Makes sense. We're not finding it with 4 milliwatts of power. It makes sense because the diode mode is 0.13, which is around about 100 ohms, I think. So we're going to have a very hard time finding this bastard. $18 milliwatts, we're still not getting anywhere. 3. Okay, we've got 54 milliwatts. It might just be enough. Might just be enough. If we can keep the whole area cool, yeah, there's a chance we can find this one. I mean, I could go to 3.8, but let's see if we can get it at 3. Tony W, welcome. Yeah, basically for the most part I write in C and then I steal various things of STL, like, you know, vectors, maps, strings, the useful bits of C++, and then the rest I toss away. But yeah, it does upset a lot of professional programmers. They're like, you can't do that, it's not proper C++. And I'm like, I really don't care. I really, really don't care. Alright. Yeah, I see good old Cyclone is giving you guys a really rough time. It's going to be very hard to pick this without a real... Okay. Almost... No... No, we're going to have to blanket it. Blanket and lights out. Nothing there. And that is not it. No, Micro's incident's been done. Yep. This blanket is way too thin. Yeah. Yep, too thin. Oh, old mate Greg. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. I was wondering who I was ordering them from, but yes, some PS5 ports. I got someone who wants one done, and I realised I'd run out. I didn't realise that I would actually have the person show up. Jeez. Now I know who to blame. Okay, is this a spot? There? Doesn't seem like it should be. Oh, it is. Come on back. Yeah, that, right there. Power off. It's gone. Power on. It's back. Okay. What the hell's down there? That's that's HDMI. It might not actually be anything, but it's worth a shot. Like I said, if you manage to mask out everything, you can sometimes just, but you see, it could just be like that. I have a feeling it's probably just that switch there. And it's probably just got some kind of bleed current or whatever going on there. Anyway, I'll dab it and see what happens. We don't use such terms around here, moles. Yeah, absolutely nothing's showing up. Okay, let's try again. That guy up the top. Maybe that one. I don't know. Let's try it again. Try to get some even coverage there. Nah. Jeez. Yeah, measure the caps is probably a better way. Although honestly, you're not going to get much out of it. If we're lucky, we might see 50 ohms or something like that. If we're having a good day. Open. 680. Is it possible? That's a filter. 150. No, that's what? Oh yeah, that's right. No, it was my misguided reading of the circuit there. 760. Open. 760. I'm really not sure what to think of any of this. Okay, the 3V8 does go to that little chip. So you can see here. (16-volt boost circuit). I don't know, it seems kind of unlikely to me. solder bridge, it is getting to that point, yeah. Now I've got hairs all over it. The board's all grown up. Oh, is that corrosion I see around that? That looks like corrosion to me. Yep. Let me know what you think. Did you think that was corrosion? I thought that was corrosion, and I can see better than you. Hey, Mr. Bucko. You've sort of arrived at an appropriate time, it seems. Yeah, board inspection's important. I've got to say though, that level of corrosion there is not something you would normally see, because it is well nested under that chip. I mean, you know what I'm like when it comes to board checks. You know that I'm fairly pedantic about going over it multiple times, and I will say that that one is one that would normally just not be visible. Then we're going to melt my connectors here. I hate this. Can't tolerate it. Give me a metal shield. I'm not some fly-by-night hack. Try to actually respect my customers' equipment. I'm probably going to melt that connector anyway. Oh, I bent my fingernail back. Honestly, it doesn't look like it, but I'm telling you, I saw something under that pin. I should have taken it without the flux. Oh wait, no, there we go. There we go. Yep. That's mucky yucky. Yucky mucky. That was a difficult one to find. Now, of course, we still got to see whether this thing even fires up now. And I don't know if I need that. I don't think I should need that outright. Hey Pedro, sharing everybody with your disgusting stories of your international misbehavior. So that's it for size. I'm just going to remove these so we don't have an accident. Now what I need to do is measure 3V8 and see if we're back up to 0.2 or whatever it was, 0.3 I think, for the diode mode, and if it is, then we know we've got the winner. Yeah, if it's put 16 volts in the wrong place, that would be a bad day. Let us hope it hasn't. Diode mode. Well, it's not fully up, but 0.17 is certainly a lot better than 0.13. Fairly sure I should be able to boot this without that in place. Because the chip is missing, it's not going to do any 16 volt boosting. So we should be right. Alright folks, fingers crossed. How many times have I said that now? This is one of those jobs where it definitely was, they're going to be worth the $300. Okay, here comes 20. Yep. Wow. That was a fun one. Knew I should have sent that to NRF. Well, I suppose we better put a replacement on. Jeez, that is probably the hard end of fault tracking. Okay, it's not the worst, but I better not get too excited. We've got to boot it, make sure we can get data off, but I do want to see if I can find this LT6, whatever it is. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a LM3638. Just copy that, search, find, paste. See what other boards have it. Creature, no, it's actually for the Touch ID, the fingerprint sensor. Oh wow, the iPhone 7 has them. An iPhone 7, cool. That's good, I'll be able to use one of those. $2,100. Oh wait, did I see 1,700? Okay, we'll use the 1,700. I've got plenty of them, I think. I really got to learn to start putting the actual... Yeah, here we go. I got a 1,700. We'll take that. That's the 2141 board. Okay, stop. So where are we? 1,700. Okay, U4900 on there. And look at that, it's in a fairly similar kind of area. So let's see. There it is there. Pin 1 is a little tricky to find on them, but it's that bottom left. Alright, so we're going to have to reball this. That's okay. Way too much flux. That's alright. We're going to accept the excessive flux right now. Yeah, the geckos do get vocal. Now, look, realistically, you could almost get away with just reusing that as it is. But I'm not going to. But you could almost do it. There's enough, yeah, there's enough ballage on there that you could do it. And now I'm just making it worse because I need more flux. Should have used a bigger blob of leaded. Oh well. There we go. That's good. And clean it. And it's okay that it's uneven like that. Like I said, we're just reballing it, so it's not a big problem. Just find a suitable little stencil. So I'm gonna need some tiny-ish holes. That one looks like a much. Yep. These are just iPhone stencils. Right, now we need a little bit of solder paste. That's going to be fun. Ooh, Jason SDS, that'd be fun. Wish he was around. I do miss seeing Jason around here. He's always excellent for some high quality entertainment, that guy. He's just so busy these days with his own work. Yeah, he's going nowhere with his YouTube subscribers, but he's doing superbly well with business. Okay, we're just going to come in at 270 Celsius and a miserable little 15% air. Done. We've got some extra balls in case we lose one. Okay, what I'm going to do is just reflow them a little bit. They should be fine, but I'm going to reflow them just so they can center on themselves. Okay, that's good. Can't even see squat because yep. Now we're going to make sure we don't lose this thing. And we do need to clean up those pads. Now in this particular case, that is actually just a little bit too small for me to do hot air wicking, so I am going to have to violate my principles. Although I might be able to see if I can get away with just using the tip of the iron. Ah, why are there hairs everywhere in my life? Paul, I'd say Optus isn't giving you what you asked for. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, that is not really the most ideal set of pads there, but there's sufficiently insufficient solder on them that I can do what I need to go to do. Now, the trickiest part here is often just finding out where the hell pin 1 is now. Especially when you got rain. Yeah. So, anyone want to take a guess? Anyone? So, we have to take it over here, hit it with some alcohol, and hopefully the very weak pad 1 indicator will actually show up. There it is. Bottom right. That is extremely weak. Jeez. And we want that to be top. It's going to drop the airway down to like 20, and we're going to get 390 on the heat. 8 token 420. 420. 420. Oh, that's compound 420, isn't it? Okay, that's down. Muhammad, don't melt the connector. Naturally I didn't. I don't know if you can see that pin 1 marker there. It's certainly very disturbingly minimal. We can have a look, see if the ultraviolet shows up anything. Absolutely FA. Polish this up a bit. Yeah, it's definitely good. And they look properly placed. Alright, Oh, there was that TVS diode that we took off. Quite frankly, I don't know this one here. I think what I'd rather do, because this is a data recovery job. Yeah, Paul, you got a conundrum. What are you gonna do? God damn it, I hate it when I want to do things right. Sometimes. It's over here. Which one was it? ESD 8011. Yeah, you know I can't help myself. I gotta put the TVS back. Okay, 2397, that's great. No, I agree it's not essential, but at the same time, I do want to put it back. Uh-oh, we're crashing. Why are we crashing? Okay, so it's the second one on the left wing on the CPU side. Two, 3, 9. Okay, so it's basically any of these really. Nice thing is, at least they're bidirectional. And aside from the marking, I don't think there is actually any bias one way or the other. Whew, that stinks funny. I don't know what's chewing up my CPU. Oh, lo and behold, it's OBS. I don't know what OBS's damage is lately, but they're really starting to tick me off. But not a lot you can do. I mean, what else are you going to use apart from OBS? To be fair, you know, OBS is actually fantastic software and it's free. But sometimes you get a little bit niggly with them. Hey, Minitum. Wait, what? I swear I've seen your name around before, Minitum. center of the pad wasn't quite looking right to me. Okay, that's heaps and heaps and heaps of solder for these things. Jeez, Minitom. You know, good job. You got me good. I was sitting there thinking, wait a second, I know this person's name. Why are they saying they're... where did my component go? There's my component. Yeah, you got me good there, Mini. Once again, I fell for the whole trusting people business. Hey, Retro. Oh, wait, Retro. You're a new person too. Yeah, the joke's gone old already, I know. And that is that. Yeah, the nice thing is you don't have to care about which way they are. Thank goodness for that. Hooey. We've got to be careful cleaning up this area though, because it's very easy you can snag one of those diodes, and they do not take very much at all to just let go. They're like, oh, you want us to be free? Sure, let us go, yay! And they just leave their pads behind. They don't care. Wait, Retro, you're an old timer? I can't talk, can I? I'm a medium timer at this point. Trainee old timer. Alright, folks. How long are we at this for? 2.5 hours? Hour and a half by the looks of it. Seems longer. Hour and a half for this particular job, because when I scan in the code, the timer resets for the new job. The fun thing is going to be that I've already told this person pretty much that it was a dead end. Now I've got to say, actually, it looks like we found a way to make it come back to life. And they're going to be like, great, we just told the customer that it's dead. I agree, it is dusty. Paul, I'm 52. Will I be 53 this year? No, 52. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, yeah. I'll be 52 in a month or two. So I guess I'm 51 technically. 51 and a lot. Is that my Momo? Okay. Well, those two faults were basically at diametrically opposite corners of the board. Just goes to show you can't always tell. takes a fair bit of wiggling and adjusting and just moving things around to get these particular boards to sit down. There we go. The trick is not to force them. You force them and you're going to end up with a lot of trouble. True of a lot of things, I suppose. Come on. Oh, Retro 239, that's pretty good going. Thank you everybody for being here. I'll tell you what, if you have been watching from the start, that's some perseverance for you. Let's hope that you are duly rewarded with a great bong when this thing powers up. And believe me, I, for one, would also duly like to be rewarded. And this will definitely go down as one of the jobs I probably should have walked away from. Oh, gee, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You can very easily get suckered into these rabbit holes. Interestingly, it was probably better that I was doing it at night time because the heat load is quite a bit less in the workshop at night time than it is during the day, because during the day you have the radiated heat coming down from the ceiling and the windows. So it would have made it quite a bit more difficult to try and track down that particular short. So I mean, ultimately this ended up being more of a find the short type game, but it was just a few levels higher than the normal type of find the short game you play. Elf Beer, hello. Okay. How's my weather? It's warm. We're in the mid-high 30s during the day and low 20s during the night. So yeah, it's warm. Still got to run the air conditioners. Yes, this is for data recovery, so putting all the stickers back on, all that sort of stuff, is not really on the list at this point. Okay, here we go, everybody. I suppose I should put some privacy protection down for the person, should it pop up. Optimistic of me, I know. And away we go. Wow. Very small fault that caused a great deal of drama. Oh, Joey, I thought you'd be doing your stream by now. Oh, great happiness. And you can see we've got a... Oops. You can see we've got a proper boot screen there. So that's it. We're done. This will now be able to get the data recovered off it. And they'll probably continue to use it, I dare say. But being a 2442, they're probably going to be better off moving to a new machine now. I mean, they're still great machines. I love them as a general daily 14-inch machine. But if it is, yeah, I use it in a very secondary nature. It's not my primary device. So they'll probably be migrated to a new machine. So there we go. That's all done. That was a long one. certainly much longer than I would normally recommend as a business. I think the main thing that was driving me here is that, as I mentioned, this particular business has sent me multiple machines in the last week, and all of them are just not being repairable. So I really wanted to see what was going on with this one, and that was a very small amount of corrosion. So thank you all for persisting with me while I worked my way through this one. Okay, you all have a good time tonight, whatever you're doing. I'm going to go and get some food, have a shower, and it's pretty much time for me to kick back and watch some YouTube maybe. Maybe I'll go watch some Joey Does Tech. Joey, you're running a stream tonight, aren't you? Yeah. Alright, we are out of here. Thank you all again, and thank you all to the new viewers. This is a little bit longer than it normally is, but this is the kind of video that you're going to get on this channel. So, you all take care. I'll see you around.